Yes then, we have now made it to the Champions League round of 16. Let's do some more Champions League predictions. Hello guys and welcome back to yet another video. As I say, we are predicting the round of 16 first legs in the Champions League today. Thank you so much, by the way, for your support on the videos this season. Be sure to keep it up, drop a like. Let's go for 2,000 likes on this one. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button, and if you want to see more Champions League videos, be sure to subscribe as well. It really does help us out, and we're trying to push towards 93,000 subscribers, so get involved. As well as that, if you would like to see Europa League predictions, let me know down in the comments, because we could do that for you tomorrow on Monday. There's some big games coming up, like Fenerbahce versus Rangers and Real Sociedad versus Manchester United. But today, we're focusing on the Champions League, so let's get into the first leg predictions. We start with Club Brugge versus Aston Villa as the first game, and this should be interesting. They have already played each other in the Champions League this season, and that was of course in the league phase when Club Brugge were at home and they did win 1-0. Will that kind of have any bearing on this game? Maybe, maybe not. I think Villa have been very impressive in the Champions League this season. They finished in 8th place. They made it into the top 8 in their return to Champions League football, which is incredible. They've scored 13 goals and only conceded 6 in the competition so far. On the other hand, Club Brugge did finish down in 24th, only scoring 7 goals and conceding 11 in the league phase. They have just got through against Atalanta 5-2 in the playoffs, which I didn't see coming, so credit to Club Brugge. How do I see this one going? Well, I don't think there'll be lots of goals in it. One thing that can be a theme in knockout games is that the first game can be cagey, it can be tight, as both teams are sort of nervous to lose. But I do think there will be a winner, and I think it'll be Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa have been really impressive when you consider they're fighting on lots of fronts this season, and if they can really put a lot of that focus into the Champions League, as they have done so far, with the quality of Rodgers and Watkins to get the goals. Obviously Rashford's just come over to Villa now, and Unai Emery, let's not forget, an experienced manager in these knockout competitions in Europe. I think Villa get the win, and I can see them getting through to the quarter-finals, but I'm just predicting the first leg today. I'm going to say Club Brugge 0, Aston Villa 1 as my prediction. I think 1 goal might win this first leg, and I think Villa might snatch it, which would give them a very good chance of getting through as they return to Villa Park for the second leg. Let me know your thoughts down below on Club Brugge versus Aston Villa. The next game then is between Borussia Dortmund and Lille. Now this is interesting. Borussia Dortmund might look like the favourites, but Lille did finish higher in the Champions League phase. Lille finished in 7th place, scoring 17 goals and only conceding 10. They had a good record, of course. Jonathan David is the player to watch out for, of course. He's scored so many goals. I think he's notched up quite a few in the Champions League this season. But when it comes to scoring goals, we have to talk about Borussia Dortmund. They, of course, finished in the playoffs in 10th place. They scored 22 goals and conceded 12. They did win in the playoffs 3-0 against Sporting. They won the away game 3-0. The home game was a 0-0 draw. Of course, they've got Garassi, they've got Adeyemi, and I think they've got lots of goals in them. So I think there will be goals in this game. And I think they might edge it. They have got the home advantage. I'm going to go Borussia Dortmund 2, Lille 1 as my prediction for this one, which would give Borussia Dortmund the advantage, but it would still give Lille a chance, especially with them being at home in the second leg. Once again, do let me know your thoughts down in the comments, this time on Borussia Dortmund versus Lille. I do think it will be a really tasty game. The next game then is between PSV and Arsenal. Arsenal did really well in the Champions League phase. Their defensive record was incredible. Of course, they finished 3rd in the table, scoring 16 goals and only conceding 3. They come up against PSV, who scored 16 and conceded 12 themselves, finishing in 14th place. They did get through against Juventus in the playoffs with a 4-3 win. It was crazy on aggregate, a really crazy game. The thing is with this one, I really like Arsenal's defensive numbers, and I think they've got the ability to keep a clean sheet. What seems to have been a problem recently is just that firepower and getting goals. Of course, they drew 0-0 with Nottingham Forest last time in the Premier League, but they have had a rest this weekend as they weren't playing in FA Cup action. They were already eliminated. So, for my prediction, I think Arsenal have got to go all guns blazing to try and get as far as they can in the Champions League, with the Premier League title hopes fading away. I think they might just pinch this. I'm going to go PSV 0, Arsenal 1. I think they will be the better team. It's just about converting those chances into goals. Have they got that out-and-out goal scorer? I think they'll score 1 and just win this game. Let me know your thoughts on PSV versus Arsenal. Next up then, and it's Real Madrid versus Atlético Madrid. I'm looking forward to this one. What's going to happen though? Atlético Madrid did perform better in the Champions League phase. Of course, they finished in 5th place. Real Madrid finished in 11th and had to go through the playoffs, beating Manchester City 6-3 on aggregate. They don't have any problems scoring goals. Of course, they've got Rodrigo, Vinicius, Bellingham and Mbappe, who scored a hat-trick against Manchester City. I think they're going to score a few. How many do Atletico score? Well, they've got Griezmann, they've got Alvarez. They have both scored a few goals in the Champions League this season. In fact, Atletico Madrid scored 20 in the league phase. Real Madrid scored 20 in the league phase. It could be close, but I think Real Madrid will edge it, especially at home. Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 1 is my prediction, which does give Real Madrid the advantage, but still would be all to play for. Do share your thoughts. I'm struggling to separate some of these games. There's just not a lot between some of these opponents. Next up, and we have Feyenoord versus Inter Milan, and I find this fascinating because I think they've both got a decent chance of getting far in the Champions League with the opponents they've drawn each other here. I do believe the winner of this game, though, would get Bayern or Bayer Leverkusen, which would be tricky. But as for this game, Inter Milan, they finished 4th and they only conceded 1 goal in the whole of the Champions League phase, which is ridiculously good. Such a good defensive team. What can Feyenoord do against them? Feyenoord finished in 19th, but they did beat AC Milan 2-1 on aggregate in the playoffs. It's a shame we've not got AC Milan versus Inter Milan here, but let's see if Feyenoord can do something. I think it'll be close, but I just can't see past that incredible Inter Milan defensive record. So, sorry to be predictable, but I'm going to go Feyenoord 0, Inter Milan 1 as my prediction, which once again would leave things all to play for, but if Inter Milan do win the away game, that's a massive statement. Let me know your thoughts on Feyenoord versus Inter. The next game then is between Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen. Honestly, I don't know. I really think both teams have a very good chance of winning this game. Last week, I did a video where I did some predictions reacting to the round of 16 draw, and I said I think Bayern Munich could get through here. I did have quite a few people pointing out to me that Bayer Leverkusen do have a good record against them, especially this season as well, where the games have been quite close. In fact, in their last 10 meetings, Bayern have won 3, and Bayer Leverkusen have won 3, and there's been 4 draws. So it really does feel like a tricky game to separate. They're both doing well in the Bundesliga as well. Bayern Munich scraped past Celtic 3-2 in the playoffs. It wasn't convincing, but they have got the players like Harry Kane to get the goals and find their way through. On the other hand, Bayer Leverkusen, of course, have Florian Wirtz, who could pop up with goals at any moment. I must admit, I'm finding this game very, very difficult to predict, and I might go for a draw. 1-1 is what I'm saying. I really do think it could go all the way to extra time and penalties in the second leg. So feel free to share your predictions on Bayern versus Bayer Leverkusen. Very, very difficult game to predict. The next game then sees Benfica taking on Barcelona. Now, Benfica, of course, finished in 16th place. They got through the playoffs beating Monaco 4-3. Barcelona finished 2nd in the Champions League table, and these two did play each other in the Champions League phase in a crazy game which finished Benfica 4, Barcelona 5, and there was late drama. It had everything, that game. If we can have more of the same in this game, that would be great. How do I see it going? I think Benfica could score. I think they've got the ability to score goals, and Barcelona can be open. I think Actoglu might score. He's scored 4 in the Champions League so far. However, Barcelona, of course, with Lewandowski and Rafinha, who've both scored quite a few goals in the Champions League so far, I think they're going to find a way to power past Benfica. They've scored 28 goals in the Champions League so far. Barcelona are so hard to stop from scoring. So I'm going to go Benfica 1, Barcelona 3 as my prediction. It's a bold statement because, you know, Benfica really need to get something from the home game, but I think Barcelona are too strong. So I'm going 3-1. On to the final game then, and it is between PSG and Liverpool. It's another good game, and who knows? I mean, Liverpool are the favourites, especially in my opinion. They did perform better in the Champions League phase. They finished in first place, whereas PSG finished down in 15th and had to go through the playoffs. They did beat Brest 10-0 on aggregate though, which is remarkable. I mean, 10-0, that is incredible. How do I see this one going? It's difficult. Liverpool are fighting on a few fronts, the Premier League, the Champions League, and they are in the Carabao Cup final. They have had a rest this weekend though, because they've already been eliminated from the FA Cup. One thing I am starting to think is that because Liverpool are looking quite strong favourites to win the Premier League, can they now start to turn their attention to the Champions League? Liverpool are afforded one or two more slips in the Premier League, but they can't do that in the Champions League because it's a knockout competition. So in my opinion, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would want to go all guns blazing for the Champions League. And I think they could do it. You know, the difference in this game could be Mohamed Salah snatches a late winner. I think PSG score. I think Ousmane Dembele might get a goal, but I'm going to go PSG 1, Liverpool 2, which would give Liverpool a massive advantage going back to Anfield for that second leg. So yeah, I'm going to go with Liverpool, and as I said, I really think Liverpool could win the Champions League this season. I know you've got Real Madrid, I know you've got Barcelona, you know, a couple of the German clubs look strong as well, but I think Liverpool are definitely one of the favourites. And what a season it would be if Arne Slot managed to pull off a Premier League and Champions League double. Can he do it, Liverpool fans? Let me know your thoughts. And so then, there you go. They are my predictions. Very, very difficult games to predict. We will see how many I get right and how many I will get wrong. Let me know your predictions down in the comments, guys. And as I say, I will be back with Champions League predictions for the second legs next week. And if you want to see Europa League predictions, do let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, make sure you've dropped a like and hit the subscribe button. It really does go a long way in supporting this channel and this video. So a massive thank you for that, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace out.